Hello, today we're going to work on definitions of Unit 1 polynomials. Please make sure you have today's date, the title, and please copy down all the definitions with their example. So our first definition is term, a single number or variable or numbers and variables multiplied together. So a single number would look like 3. A variable could be x, y. Number and variables multiplied together could be 3x or 4xy. An expression is a group of terms separated by a plus and or minus signs. So that could be 3x plus 2. That could be 4x squared minus 5x plus 1. Could also look like 3a squared plus 4b squared plus ab. A coefficient is a number used to multiply a variable. So a coefficient, if I have 5x, that means the coefficient is 5. If I have 3x squared, that means the coefficient is 3. If I have x squared minus 5x, then the coefficient of those is 1, because we assume there's a 1 there, and negative 5. Okay, the leading coefficient is the number in front of the highest power. So if I have an example of 3x squared minus 8x, then the highest power, or the highest exponent, is 2. So that means the leading coefficient is 3. If I have an example like 4x squared minus 6x plus x to the 7th, then I am again in search of finding the highest exponent. The highest exponent is 7, so the number in front would be the leading coefficient. Since there's no obvious number there, we assume there is a 1. So that means that the leading coefficient is 1. If I have something like 5 minus x squared, then again, I am looking for the highest exponent. So since the highest exponent is 2, the number in front is the leading coefficient. Since there's a minus, that means the leading coefficient is negative 1. Now let's look at a monomial. Monomial is an expression consisting of a number, variable, or product of numbers and variables. So a monomial could look like negative 8. Monomial could look like x. A monomial could look like 4x squared. It could look like 4x squared y cubed z. The degree of the monomial is when you add all the exponents of a variable. So if you look at negative 8, the degree of that monomial is 0. Why is that? Because there are no variables. If you look at 4x squared, then the degree of 4x squared of this monomial is simply 2. If you look at the example we have above, 5x squared y cubed z, then the degree of this monomial is 2 plus 3. Now this doesn't have an exponent, but since you don't see it, you assume this is 1. So that means you have 2 plus 3 plus 1, which is 6. Okay, a binomial is a polynomial with 2 terms. So that could look like 2x plus 1. That could look like 3x squared minus x. That could look like x minus 3x squared. Those are all 2 terms. A trinomial is a 3-term polynomial. If you look at the word tri, that means trinomial. So that could be 3x squared minus 8x plus 7. It could be 7x to the 4th minus 8x squared plus 1. Those are all trinomials. Okay, a polynomial. A polynomial is an algebraic expression with 2 or more terms. This could be as simple as 3x plus 5. This could be 3x squared plus 5x plus 1. It could also be 5x to the 7th plus 4x to the 5th minus 6x cubed minus 10x plus 11. Anything with 2 or more terms is a polynomial. Now the degree of the polynomial is the largest exponent. This is different than degree of monomial. Degree of monomial you add. Degree of polynomial, you just find the largest exponent. So if I have 3x to the 8th minus 4x squared. To find the degree, I go through and I find the largest exponent. Here's a 2, here's an 8. The largest exponent is 8, so that means the degree of the polynomial is 8. If I have an example, 3x squared minus x to the 4th plus 1, I go through and I find the largest exponent. Here's a 2, here's a 4. This has no a variable with an exponent, so the highest exponent is 4. So that means that the degree is 4. Standard form of a polynomial is written in descending order of powers. So what that says is I always have to write the highest exponent first. So if I look at this example from above, then what that means is I'm going to write this example in standard form. So I find the highest exponent, which is 4, so this term would go first. So I'd have negative x to the 4th. Then my second term is the next exponent, which would be 3, plus 3x squared. And finally, I would have the 1, plus 1. An equation is a mathematical statement which makes two expressions equal. So for an equation, essentially, you just have to have an equal sign. So y is equal to 3x plus 5. This is an equation because there is an equal sign. Now I can take these expressions and set them equal to each other. So I have 3x to the 8th minus 4x squared is equal to 3x squared minus x to the 4th plus 1. And I have made an equation out of two expressions. What makes this an equation? The equal sign. If there are any questions, please send me an email and I will answer any questions you have. Please make sure you've copied down all your notes and examples.